we get the name? Forest? Forest? Yeah. All right. What do you guys think of Forest?
I think it was really amazing and wonderful. The song is really very, I can't tell you how it impressed me. But again, it's kind of the nature. We believe that theory, everything comes back again to nature. Energy never lost. We never lost everything in the nature. It just change energy to another things. You can see when it's step by step, how everything should be lose and die. Then after dying, you can again rebuild everything. It's the rule of the nature. It's really amazed me. It's a rule of the in the world exactly the same. We never die, not again according to philosophy. I mean, in everything in the world never lose, and just change to each other.
Energy can't be created or destroyed.
Yes,
it can only change.
Yes, just only change. But contrast and harmony and movie was amazing. It's really, I don't know, I appreciate the producer and the director. It's really set everything just without just sound and contrast of the step by step movie shows everything very clearly. Thank you so much. I really enjoy it.
I particularly enjoyed the temporality of it. It's rare that you see a film that plays with actually time as a character. Like the truth is a space as a character, and then time as a factor here as well. It's so often starts with the audience getting immersed in the film, and all of a sudden it's done, and you're like, it felt like an instantaneous picture. But this one, you just really had a painfully vibrant way of perceiving the temporal timeline, and I as well like the cyclicality of it, and kind of like what the commenter before said about the natural loop. It just beautifully ties in decay as a method of spawning life, and I so often find that decay is something that we as humans perceive very negatively and have a very difficult time dealing with. So it's nice to see
The other side of it.
the other side of it, exactly.
Well, I feel that the thing about this film is that with the decomposition of it, I think that the food, the table and all the food on it is sort of a proxy or a stand-in for life itself. I mean, I understand that aspect of it being dead at the beginning, but I also feel like to a certain extent decomposition is so disturbing to humanity because everyone knows that it happens to everything and everyone. And I think that that's also an aspect of it, is that when you have food, you know that someone had to make the food. And if the food is decaying, and if you have these swarms of insects and larvae, you know that something has also happened to the people who made that food. That's the impression that I got from it, is the way that it connects to actually to humanity. And one thing I think about the film is that it really sort of, on one hand, it confronts with the reality of, as other people mentioned, nature, sort of rebirth, so to speak, although more like life and then death and then a different kind of life, which is more of the sort of the foliage at the end. But I don't know, I feel like the absence of humanity in the film makes me think that it's more allegorical to a certain extent, because those are such disturbing images, and I just wondered, why is this such an unsettling image? And I think it does have to do with the fact that it's a process that happens to people.
I think it's intentionally supposed to make us uncomfortable because there are grotesque aspects to humanity. It dubs as grotesque, seeing things go bad, seeing things rot, etc. But what's really fascinating about this piece is, to touch on your point, that the human-made food, it represents humanity in the spectrum of nature, right? We walk upon the earth as though we own it, but at the end of the day, we come from nature and we will return. And ultimately, time will seize us all. But from that comes more life.
I thought that it was beautiful and a little creepy. I didn't like the music.
I was really amazed by, the production. I mean, the time and effort they spent for
It's like an
producing this
18-month
film.
thing.
Yeah, and also, I felt it was very nice the time frame or timeline was firstly very slow, like days and even minutes, and then it became much faster. Seasons was passing, all of a sudden, and maybe I don't know, maybe even years or so. It was very interesting. Like the speed was changing over the time. I mean, we were watching the film.